Okay, I'm doing a short video. Um, you will have posted this week 6 assignment, and it is for it's talking about the cardiovascular cardiorespiratory system. Um, so I'm gonna get into it. I put the worksheet in order. Number one. All right. It is so what you look up. Just try to make a sentence about it. I put three little short sentences on there as well. Um, that you can plug in for the definition. I don't need a scientific, deep, long definition. I don't want a deep, long definition. I need a layman's term definition. If you're going to teach this to middle school kids or elementary kids, I need that kind of definition. Okay? I need you to understand how blood goes through the heart, starting with the superior vena cava and inferior vena cava. Then it comes into the heart. Those are large veins. Okay? Um, put diagrams on there and pictures. So blue, your blood is not blue. I used to get that as an answer when I taught. Your blood is never blue. It is either a dark purple for no oxygen, or it's a bright red if it has oxygen attached to it. That's it. Your blood is never blue. They use blue and red because it's easier to differentiate on diagrams. Okay, but your blood is never blue. Then you have going through the heart, through the right atrium, the valve, tricuspid valve, right ventricle, then through the pulmonary valve, into the lungs, through the pulmonary artery. So an artery, as you normally would think of it, is it has oxygenated blood. Everywhere else in the body has oxygenated blood. But an artery's definition is it takes blood away from the heart. That's the real definition of an artery. The definition of a vein is bringing blood to the heart. That's why the pulmonary artery is blue on the diagram and the pulmonary vein is red. But you'll see everywhere else, you'll think of veins as being carrying non-oxygenated blood because it's going up to the heart to get oxygen again. Okay? Then you have, so I said pulmonary artery goes through the lungs, connects oxygen, drops off carbon dioxide. You need to know that we take in oxygen to live and we give out carbon dioxide, CO2. The reason people are wearing these masks and wearing N95s and then they're passing out, so they're wearing it while they're running and they're wearing it in their car, they're throwing off their CO2 oxygen balance. Okay? You're supposed to exhale out CO2. When you're wearing a mask and you're wearing it incorrectly, you are retaining, meaning keeping CO2. So all this during this pandemic is important to understand little things. So they're getting dizzy, lightheaded, passing out, headaches because they're having too much CO2. If they would take the mask down and just breathe regularly for a little bit, they wouldn't have that problem. Now, back to it. So I made it relevant to today's world. Next thing, so it gets oxygen from the lungs, drop off CO2. You have to have something called hemoglobin on the red blood cell, okay, to carry oxygen. Hemoglobin. I didn't make you look that up, but it's an important tidbit. So goes through the lungs, does the exchange, then the oxygenated blood comes in through the pulmonary vein, back into the heart, comes back in through the left atrium. The left side of your heart does the work of pumping it through your body. So the left atrium, and I hope you can hear me, but the left atrium, and then it goes through the mitral valve, also called bicuspid valve. Mitral valve dumps into your left ventricle, from the left atrium to the left ventricle, and then it's pumped through the aortic valve, which goes through the aorta, is your largest artery in your body, and goes out into your body. So all those things about jugular vein in your neck, it's a big vein. The carotid artery runs right beside it. They run in a pair. Your veins and arteries run in pairs. Okay, one is taking blood away from your heart, the other is taking blood through your heart. Now get to the bottom of it. The next diagram, which talks about arterioles, arteries, arterioles, capillaries, venules, veins. At capillaries where exchange happens, food, okay, glucose, vitamins, minerals, oxygen, all that exchange happens at a capillary. Capillaries are so small that only one red blood cell at a time goes through them, one at a time. So that is very, very tiny. So keep that in mind as you're learning and looking at that diagram. The that's really the last bit of it, is that diagram of the blood vessels. What effect does exercise have on the cardiovascular, cardiorespiratory system? How does it help it? Why do you need to know that? I put questions like that on the worksheet. Answer those. You don't have to. All I really want is the terms. I need you to think about the questions and memorize how blood flows through the heart and body. Okay.